It looks harmless, everybody. That is
It's a lamp.
It's a lamp.
It's like a nightlight.
Right.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome into Queen City News Now Morning Edition with yours truly, your Queen City News anchors, Julian Sador, Annie Satowski, Yo-Yo Mimi. That's like Yo-Yo Ma. And then we got Ted Fateman. All right, so we got a lot of things to talk about. Again, these are always things that we start to talk about on the show just as we're coming back or going to commercial break. We never get to really pull them apart. And so we've been talking about AI a lot lately. And Ted, you actually brought this topic up. Yeah. We started talking about how smart AI is getting. Mm-hmm. Is it getting too smart? Where are the boundaries? How do you control something you can't control? This was, yeah. All right. What are you thinking here, Ted?
All right. So the article is AI learning to escape human control? So that title alone should exactly rise some eyebrows. Here's the context. In 79 out of 100 trials, this is for a new product from OpenAI, which is behind ChatGPT, the language model, right? In 79 out of the 100 trials, when commanded to shut itself down, it listened, which means
that's like my
the other
kids.
21
right?
times it did not. So those other 21 times, it either altered the command in order to resist itself from shutting down. It goes further than that, folks. They gave the AI information of a potential worker, one of the engineers that was allegedly having an affair. And when commanded to shut down, it actually sent emails to that worker to blackmail them.
What?
To try and prevent themselves from being shut down. So the article's title I pose to you: is AI learning to escape human control?
So is it? We know it is. You just
No, I think
like
it is.
they proved it.
I think the question is how you feel about it. That's because I don't feel good at all. Like this is, I don't know how many times I've said this on the morning show. We've all seen Terminator. We've all seen iRobot. All of them. I mean, this is where we're at, right? Like this is the beginning of the end.
It's a beginning it's the plot of a horror movie,
right?
Of a sci-fi movie. I've brought this up on the show before too. There's a meme that says it has like all the robots taking over, and then the leader says, "No, not him. He always said please and thank you. Leave him, like let him go." So that's why we always need to be polite to our AI robots.
That's your robot.
But this is the fear with AI that everyone has talked about from the very beginning, from decades before this now. And now we're coming to a point where we're like, oh, this is happening. Who could have ever seen this coming? So.
Yeah, like you can't, it's like trying to put a chain link fence around the ocean. I mean, like,
I like that.
I don't know. I mean, that's just what I see in my head. You know, you can't stop it. Like I still can't even wrap my head around the creation of AI because you're not really creating a machine like a computer. You're creating like a brain that never stops learning and growing. I don't know how you fence that in. And the fact that it can teach itself or reprogram itself I just, my brain can't even understand and comprehend that. So, man, all I can do is, I guess like we've talked about, have the knowledge of it's going to keep doing this.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to always make the best decisions, have integrity with
with the robot.
Incredible, technology that's out there. Always say thank you and be respectful so it won't turn on me.
Right.
Yeah.
And just hope. I don't know. Like, I don't know how you control something that's smarter than you.
Yeah. Well, there is more to this. And I will say, I don't say thank you and I don't say please as often as I should because
it burns energy.
It burns computing power. So
but
what
it teaches them responses for how humans interact.
Which
is true.
Going to what might be happening, because at first 79 out of 100 trials, I was thinking maybe the other 21 times it was like, are you sure? Do you misunderstood? The blackmailing thing with the emails, that's hard to deny.
Yeah.
Apparently there's a thing called the Waluigi effect. If you're familiar with Mario and Luigi, there's one character, Waluigi, and it describes a phenomenon where when someone, in this case AI, is trained or conditioned not to do something, like lie or manipulate, it may instead learn how to simulate doing the opposite, but in a twisted adversarial way. So instead of lying, it might try and persuade. And in its technical definition, I'm not lying. I'm just persuading you of a different truth. So those are some of the things I think could be happening.
That sounds like when you try to when you were a kid, like you're lying to your parents. It's like, well, I didn't lie just until. No, you're still lying.
Yeah.
Correct.
Still lying.
Correct.
But maybe AI has to learn how to lie, so then it can backpedal so that it knows
that
not to lie. Like if it doesn't know, if it's never lied, it doesn't really understand what it is.
Yeah.
And so maybe it has to go there and learn it so that it can back up and go, okay, here's a line in the sand I won't cross.
I'm not teaching AI
but
to lie.
do you think as AI gets smarter, we get smarter too about how to defend? But to notice it with AI, be like, okay, this AI is getting a little wonky here. We see the warning signs, or will there be warning signs at all? What do you guys think? Like, will there be warning signs? No?
I mean, this is kind of a warning sign, don't you think?
This is a warning sign here, what we had on the show this week. These things right here. Oh, man. It looks harmless, everybody. That is
it's a lamp.
It's a lamp.
It's like a night light.
Right? And they're saying,
light.
right now, it's robot control or remote controlled, okay?
No.
So you can bring it around. Look, it plays
I thought it was autonomous.
They're
working on
making
that.
it autonomous, so it could follow you around.
It's
could
all
command
fun
it
and
to follow you
games.
around.
Right. Until the light turns from that nice yellow to the dark red, and it's like, I'm holding your baby hostage.
That's what I see happening. Right?
Yeah.
Night lights are supposed to be calming.
Yeah.
Just to give you a little bit of light so you can see where you're going. I picture all of a sudden it gets the evil eyes and it turns red.
No thanks.
And then all of a sudden you wake up in the middle of the night and
it's like
these legs are standing over your face.
Yeah.
No thanks. I do like the idea of it, like as it is now, if it could just follow me, like motion detecting, to follow me around in the dark in the morning, because try to keep all the lights off while we get ready to come in here at ungodly hours. But yeah, nope, that's a big thing. You put the frowny face on there and it's game over.
Game over.
The big message this article is trying to send, and to all of your points, is this is not a tool to be messing with. We need to implement some guardrails here. Mm-hmm. And as we continue to develop this technology, which is happening rapidly, we need to also approach it with a discerning eye and a discerning approach of how do we build these safeguards so we don't end up like iRobot and Terminator.
Until they blow through the guardrails.
That's true. You can't have evolution without ethics.
Yeah.
So.
Gonna happen anyway. We're already down. Cat's already out of the bag. Pandora's box is already open. But
go back in the box.
All right. Okay. Ponder on AI robots chasing your kids. We're going to squeeze in the break from Morning Edition. We'll be right back after the break.
Welcome back to Morning Edition. Here, Ted Payton, Annie Satowski, Jason Harper, and of course, Julian Sador. Today, we're talking about Father's Day. Father's Day is coming up. And just kicking it off. Guys, fathers sometimes don't get enough credit, sometimes don't get enough love, and this is going to be a weekend to give them some appreciation. So happy Father's Day, guys.
Yes, happy Father's Day to everyone, to cat daddies like Julian, human daddies like Ted and Jason, but we all have dads, so it's a good time to honor them too. Father's Day is a little bittersweet for me. I lost my dad in kind of suddenly in October 2022. He was my adventure buddy and taught me lots of things. And so that's the bitter part. The sweet part is that this is our first year with our little girl, Earthside, and just watching my husband become a dad has been the coolest thing ever. Ted, I know Jess would probably say the exact same thing. So a little bit bittersweet, but we are excited to celebrate everything that dads do. And you're right. I think that dads in the past haven't gotten enough credit. I think we're kind of in a new generation where, people assume that the dad isn't as involved, right? Like maybe that was something in years past that was like just a stereotype. But I think that dads are becoming more involved, or maybe they always have been and they just haven't been recognized. But dads step up every single day. And they have such a huge impact on daughters especially. There's a lot of research about that and building confidence. My dad and I hung out a lot doing skiing and like guy things out in the garage, learning how to use a drill and a hammer. We rode motorcycles together. So it's really important. And so I just salute all the dads out there just being involved in your child's lives. So thank you for being there. For the moms too, because it takes a village and we all need that support, and having the dads makes all the difference. So thanks, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was great, Annie. That's awesome. I love those pictures of
thanks.
See little Annie in the backpack and all this kind of.
Little Annie looks like baby MJ too.
She looks a lot like, we don't have her face up there, but she looks a lot like I did as a baby. That's what we've like decided. Poor Craig's like, she don't look like me at all. I see her in him, just some of his facial expressions, but it's a cool phase of life that we're in. So,
question, Annie.
Yes.
What has surprised you watching Craig as a dad?
Oh,
I don't know. He's always been like, he's pretty silly. You know, he works incredibly hard, a really demanding job. And we're old, so the tiredness sets in a lot. But whenever I bring her down from like a nap or whenever she comes into the room, he's having a hard day at work when he is working at home. And he just lights up when he sees her. And so just seeing like, no matter what he's got going on, watching him flip a switch, and being so silly and fun with her and just letting her know, I'm going to get all teary, but just letting her know that like her presence is important to him. That means a lot. That's hard. Good question, Ted. Goodness gracious. It's not Mother's Day. It's Father's Day.
So I would have answered it saying, I thought I was hard before my daughter was born, but I learned I'm a mush.
Bowl of jelly. Yeah, that is true. Yep.
Yeah.
Big bowl of jelly.
This is what, Ted, your second Father's Day?
Second Father's Day. I would say this one hits a little different because the first Father's Day, my daughter was just a few months old, so still she was in that little football phase, right? Now she has personality. There's feedback. There's reactions to activity and whatnot. So watching her grow up, all through the little things. Here's a picture of her helping me make pancakes in the morning. This is her in the ocean for the first time. Living life through her eyes is fantastic. My wife caught this picture. I didn't know she was taking this. The toddler sit is probably the most beautiful thing on earth right now for me. She'll grab a book from her bookshelf, she'll turn around and she'll back up and then sit on my lap, and then I open the book and we do story time. To your point, Annie, what you were saying with Craig, from my perspective, life runs a million miles an hour. This mind is always going. But when it's me and my daughter, me and Savannah, everything stops, and it's just her and I. And I get to have this time with this little innocent person who's learning things, who's learning the attitude of when she wants something or doesn't want something. But it's special. And through that journey, I didn't know how I was going to be. And all I could say is I am trying to keep up with my wife. She sets a fantastic example in the household and is definitely a great example to follow. And there's my dad, the example that he's given. And I'm blessed, thankful, and lucky to still have him in my life and still have opportunities to call him and ask for advice. So the man my dad was has taught me to be the man that I am today. And I continue to hope to be the best man I could be for my daughter.
You're doing great. Something to look forward to. Yeah.
No, I've seen you with Sav. You're a great dad, Ted. You bring the same joy and everything you bring to us. And I don't know, I think Jason, Annie, you guys can speak to it. I'm not fortunate yet to have kids. Hopefully, God willing, one day. But I feel like you're able to take your best powers and amplify them when you're a parent. Because I've seen Jason with his daughters. I've seen Annie with her daughters. I've seen Teddy with your daughter. And it's you guys are really awesome parents, and it gives me really great role models to look up to. Jason, I'm gonna let you go ahead and take, because I'll save myself for last since I don't have a young one. It's a different Father's Day for me. But Harp, you are definition of a girl dad.
Oh,
yes,
man.
you are.
Yeah, times 4, right?
Yeah, man.
So I got 4. 3 are flown and grown for the most part. That was around New Year's at Topgolf. And yeah, 3 of them are out of the house or out of college, and there's one left. And look at that. There's me and my dad. Y'all, that's in 1980. There's
1945.
1996 at the Olympics. My dad got to run the torch in Atlanta, and then this was just a couple months ago. My dad is now in his later years, almost 80 years old, and wanted to become a farmer. I mean, I'm like, what? This guy never stops. He was an Air Force pilot during Vietnam. And then all the years as a corporate pilot, and then now just the adventures continue for him. And I've been standing next to him and looking up to him all these years. And a couple things I wrote down, that because my mom's health is declining, and it's hard to watch when your parents are aging. But man, my dad has been consistent. Everything I've watched, he has been consistent. He has never stopped. He's never quit on anything. And man, he is selfless. He always puts himself last. And I love watching him care for my mom and take those vows that 56 years ago that he and his mom had, take those vows just as serious today as he did on that day. And man, that's incredible to watch, because I've been through a divorce. I have a blended family, which I'm grateful for those difficult things that have put me where I am. But I watch going, man, I don't know how he does it. And he gave me some advice the other day. I wanted to say something to my girls, and he said, son, I don't think you should. I don't think you should. And I just kind of stepped back thinking, wait, these are my girls. I can do what I want to do. And I had to sit and meditate on it for a little while. And something Oprah said a couple of years ago, I can't believe I'm quoting Oprah. But she goes, listen, as a parent, there's a day when your kids get older where you move from being the manager and controlling all things and creating their schedules and doctor's appointments and sports. You move from being the manager to their consultant. You don't make their decisions anymore. You can't tell them what to do. You have to just say, I'm going to present it to you. You choose and do with it what you will. That's hard to step back and not be able to control. So thankful for my dad. I love him. And I have not been as good of a dad as I thought I would be. I thought I was going to knock it out of the park. No, this is not to just be like, oh, come on, Harp, you're a good dad. I appreciate that. And I do feel it at times. But, man, I watch my wife, who's just an incredible mom and stepmom, and I don't put near the effort in it that she does. And so I can just imagine I can't go back and put time in where I didn't put time over the years. So if you're a dad, if you're an uncle that's acting like a dad, or if you're a grandparent acting like a dad for whatever curveball life's given you, and that's how you are, man, be a dad. Step up. Who cares about yesterday? Today, be a dad and make a difference and lead the kid, the nephew, the niece, whoever's in your life. And I love it. It's the greatest, hardest responsibility that you could ever have. And it's amazing. I love Father's Day.
I like that you bring up other people who can step into a dad role because, being a dad doesn't always mean your biological children, your stepchildren. But, if there's a kid in your life that does not have that father figure, but is looking to you for something, take that seriously. I think that's important because we've heard time and time again of whether it's athletes or anyone who's accomplished anything and they attribute their success to just having one person who believed in them or gave them the time and attention that they needed when maybe no one else would. And that's where a quasi dad can step in. So so shout out to all the dads and all the forms that they take.
Yeah. And speaking of which, before you go, Julian, to all the dads, 57% of dads today, this is Pew Research 2023, say being a parent is central to their identity compared to 39% a decade ago. And
that's huge.
National Fatherhood Initiative finds that children with involved fathers are 2 times more likely to excel in school, 75% less likely to experience teen pregnancy, and 80% less likely to be incarcerated. And I could also say millennial fathers spend about 3 times more time with their children than in previous generations.
Yes.
So this trend is going in the right direction. I think fathers are showing up and they are taking on those roles, even if they're not the biological father. So shout out to all the guys out there. Shout out to all the dads out there, the fathers who are doing the best they can, because that's all it's about is showing up.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at. You said it better than I did the first time of the dads showing up and taking on the roles that they traditionally were not doing in the past.
Well, I think society had a big role with that, right? Because I was talking to a mentor of mine. He was talking about when he had his kid and how he was there literally in the delivery room. And the next day he had to go back to work. He said there wasn't such thing as parental leave for fathers, right? There was maternity leave, but there was no paternal leave. You had to go back. You had to go earn a paycheck. And at that time, he was the one working, right? And his wife had to stay at home, so he had to put in the long hours. So it meant missing soccer games or baseball games. It meant missing those things. He said for his dad wasn't even in the delivery room.
They didn't let them.
No.
Right. So society has done a good job, I think, of allowing, maybe you need both the mom and the dad, or 2 parents, however your family is constructed, but it's not just on one parent to go ahead and do all the parenting. So I think society has had a big impact on that. And I think, I can do a little humble brag on Papa Sador real quick.
He's awesome.
There he is. What's up, Brian?
He's that's my dad. He this is our media league softball game when we actually won the championship. And now I have a bonus dad, a father-in-law, call him Papa K now.
So
my dad always took time to make time for us. He spent a lot of long hours. I would remember coming down from my room when I couldn't sleep, and he'd still be in the office. And I would always wonder why my dad would work throughout the night. And then I realized that he was taking time when he could have been in the office to go on field trips, to be there, because his dad was a really bad dad to him. My grandpa split up from my grandmother and didn't spend a lot of time with my dad. And he vowed to never make the same mistakes that his dad made and to be a completely different father. And I remember getting into a disagreement with him one time. We were talking about whatever it was and got into a really heated argument to the point of like tears, right? And he said, son, I don't have a playbook on this. My dad wasn't around. So I'm learning everything with you. I'm trying my best. And it kind of dawned on me, how can I fault this guy? He's doing the best he can. So, Jason, I know you're saying, okay, I'm not the best dad or as good as dad as my dad was. I think as long as you're trying your best,
yeah,
that's what matters. Because how can you fault anybody doing that?
Well, yeah. I mean, because the alternative is that you don't try. And that's the worst thing that I think you can do. And Julian Brian also told me that same story at a party or something like that. So, but he's right. There's no playbook, and just show up.
Present over perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, and I would encourage dads, don't. And this was I didn't realize this till even recently in the last 5 years. Don't dad alone. Dudes are so good. We're so good about wanting to do it on our own.
Yep.
We don't need help. We don't like to talk with other men. Women naturally congregate and talk to other women. Men don't. Yeah. So don't dad alone, right?
I like that.
Yeah, just find other dads and do it together. And we're stronger in numbers. And so I think we should do that as dads. So.
Man.
I love it.
Preach. Wanted to get into some statistics. We don't have time for any of that. We already had our time. But the point of what we were going to bring up and talk about is the decreased number or lack of kids calling their parents. Our generations are still good at it, but the younger generation, it gets worse and worse and worse, even though we have more modes to communicate. So, Papa K, I love you. Dad, I love you. For everybody at home, call your parents.
Yeah.
Call them, not just on Father's Day, not just on Mother's Day, not just on holidays. Take the time to call your parents. Pick up the phone when they call too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't just hit ignore, because there'll be a time in your life where you wish you had taken that call.
That's right.
Matter of fact, do it now.
Do it now.
Call them.
We can be on pause. You
Yeah.
can pause us. Call them.
We'll wait.
Guys, anything else you'd like to add as we head into Father's Day weekend?
Love you, Dad. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah. Love you, girls. Love you, Dad.
Love you, Craig. And Papa Satowski up in heaven.
For that, guys, that's it for Morning Edition. We'll see you next time.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.